Hey, Daddy Ducks. So I got 14 Muscovies. Hey, these ducks are going to be big. These ducks are only babies. Look at the size of them. They're only like 4 weeks old. Hey, maybe 5, but I think 4. But yeah, I just got 14 of those. So that's my newest ones because they're a good dual-purpose bird. These birds will give you up to 180 eggs a year. Okay, and they'll hatch out their own clutches. Those Muscovy mamas, the Muscovy mamas are very motherly. So for now, I keep my chickens in to make sure I get all my eggs. So I keep these little assholes locked up until they lay all the eggs, because if not, it'd be like Easter every day. I'd have to go hunting eggs. So yeah, here I am. I'm starting my. This is going to be a start of my workshop here, my shelter, and it's the roof and stuff's going to be clear, so you be able to see through it in the light and stuff. I want it natural lit and stuff. So this is what I'm going to do to use to refinish this monstrosity of a machine. But I love this machine. This machine is worth its weight in gold. But I kept all the panels and stuff off because I'm going to start sanding them down here once I get shit done around here. I got so many things to do. I just got to prioritize. But anyway, this here is getting the complete overhaul. Like I told you, I kept the panels off because I'll start on those panels, sand them down, prime them, repaint them. And then the rest of it I'll do inside the shelter. But anyway, I want to show you how things are going. All the ducks are mingling now. I like all the khakis and the rolling mix there. They're all mingling. And they're just having a blast. There's the oldest boy, Jake. Okay? And there's the rest of them. They're all having like a little party, and they hang out on the side. They hang out. But what I like about this now, this pond is turning natural foliage. It's starting, right? So, everybody's panicking about not, if they dig a pond. Don't panic. Your foliage will come slow and steady. Okay. So, like I said, this is the second year, so it takes time. Right? But I did plant this wildflower bed to kind of help things along, because now when everything turns to seeds, it blows around in the wind. It gets pretty windy here, right? So all this wildflowers and stuff, this will blow all around this pond. Even if it blows in the pond, it'll transfer over to the banks, right? So this by next year, this will really start developing a lot of foliage. Okay, so that's natural stuff for pond natural stuff, right? The only thing I want to get in maybe here is go cut some bullweed somewhere and cut them open, because they're just about probably blooming now, because I can tell my strawberries are kicking off the whole tray. But my MJ plant is doing awesome. I trimmed it all down. I don't know how much more I should trim it, if I should trim it at all. It's almost harvest time, but I would have liked to seen a little bit more out of that. But I'm just learning, right? So. And that's the only one I grow. I grow one a year. I try it. Last year was half that size. So I guess I'm getting better at it, whatever. It really doesn't require a whole lot of care. You got to feed it, you got to flush it, and you know what I mean? And the rest of the time, it just takes care of itself as long as you prune it, right? So, and my grapes are growing really high now. So I'm 5'9", and well, they're as big as me. My plum tree, man, it's growing awesome. My pear trees, I'm going to have to put some stones and strings to kind of open up that tree. Same with this one. I have to put some weight and some stones just to open up the tree. And then I'm going to do nothing with these apples because they're doing just fine. They're just slow. But yeah, I wanted to show you my Muscovies. That's the newest thing. Okay? And they're just great. They're awesome little babies. Look at how big the feet are on them. Can you see that? You see how big that feet is on them? These birds, I think they go up to 18 pounds. But these are just babies. Look at the size of the legs and the feet. That's definitely a male. That first one right there is definitely a male. As you can tell, his legs are bigger than the females. But yeah, they're awesome. I can't wait. Anyway, folks, yeah. Other than that, not much else is going on. I'm getting ready for winter. I'm still working on wood and stuff. So, man, that's a never-ending chore. But regardless, it's still drying sitting there and stuff. So, but right now, it's the Honda Accord 2.4 starter. Yeehaw. Anyway, you got to take the whole front of the motor apart, basically, the intake, the throttle body, the manifold, blah, blah, blah. You got to kind of remember where things go back. So what I do is I just put the bolts back out, basically where I took them. So up top there, I laid them out. So that's the middle one, that's the outside one, and you got to put them back together the same way. So when you put this manifold back on, you basically start from the middle to torque and work your way out on both sides. Okay, you crisscross pattern basically, right? So you start from the middle and you crisscross them all the way out. But when you take this apart, you do it the exact opposite. You crisscross in. Okay, and that's how you got to kind of do things. You got to do things. You got to think more like a technician doing stuff, right? Because if you don't, you're going to run into problems. And I'm talking about, yeah, it's great being a good mechanic or a backyard mechanic or whatever. But if you're just a backyard mechanic, well, that's all you are. You're a backyard mechanic. But if you think like a technician, okay, and if you even go further and think like an engineer, you understand how all this mechanical stuff is put together and why they did stuff the way they did. Certain things sometimes don't make sense, right? There's a couple things on this car don't make sense to me why they did it like that. But anyway, it isn't that bad. It probably looks worse than what it is. But anyway, I'm just waiting for the new starter. It said it's on its way. So that's what the old one looks like. You know what? I don't see any, physical damage as far as starter. Well, maybe. I don't see any teeth ground off it or anything. I see a lot of like hit marks, but not. I don't know. Maybe it was dragging. I don't know, but I got the whine out of it. I just didn't get like. What happened is I didn't get the solenoid part. I could hear the click, and I could hear this. I could hear it spinning. I could hear it spinning. I could hear the whine, the spinning of the whine, but no engagement. So basically, the throwout wasn't throwing this forward to engage the flywheel. It was spinning inside, but not the throwout bearing in it, and it wasn't letting it come forward. But really, I don't know. I'm gonna have to test this because maybe it was just bad connections or something. I don't know, because this thing isn't chewed up. It isn't loose. There's no shredded metal in there. I can see inside. There's nothing inside here. There's nothing in there. I looked inside the hull, see if I could feel anything, see if there's any metal crumbs and stuff. But no, that seems to be all good. But in the meantime, folks, I'm gonna get back at this. I gotta, clean all the surface, the mating surfaces. So I gotta do it on there, and then I gotta do it on the manifold. Shouldn't be too hard. I'm just gonna take some 320 and sand it up, maybe some brake cleaner, just clean it up and throw it in. But this car is running pretty rich, right? Anyway, 287,000 kilometers, still going. Who am I to say anything? Probably leaks oil everywhere. I don't, probably seeps oil. Doesn't really leak it out bad, but it's probably bad enough. I mean, I probably put a liter in between oil changes, but hey man, you take care of it, just keep going. So yeah, I'll throw a starter in it. I'm not keeping this. I'm getting a new vehicle soon. I'm not keeping this, so this will be maybe a spare, or keep it as a glorified battery charger or bush buggy or something like that. Run my trails with it. Just, it's just going to be a beater, right? It's a beater. So, like, this car won't go back on the road once the safety expires. So, not that it can't go back on the road. The underneath is actually really clean. I figured it to be really rusted out, but the only real rust on this thing is driver's quarter panel, which isn't that bad. And then, of course, you got your front bumper skirting where people can't see parking curbs and stuff. I bought it like this. I bought it off my second cousin. He passed away actually just recently from cancer. So, helped out his wife and stuff and bought this car because I don't really want to drive anything too nice on this road all the time anyway. This road here just kills everything if you don't pay attention. If you don't drive this road slow, it doesn't matter what you're driving. It's eventually going to be wrecked, or not wrecked, but front end parts, anything to do with maintenance there, this road's going to kill it. You know what I mean? So ball joints, control arm, bushings, you know, stabilizer bushings, end links, all that sort of stuff. This roll is going to kill it all. But anyway, I'm just waiting for my starter, folks. I'm all done. Everything's cleaned. Everything's all apart. Everything's ready to go. I'll get it back together in about 20 minutes. You know, but that's after I clean the mating surfaces. So anyway, I'll talk to you later. Bye.